Hello everybody, it's Crystal. Welcome to my channel. So today I have a stitch tutorial for you. Very easy, very simple. This is the Pique stitch. So let me go ahead and back it up here so you can see it here. So it's very, very easy. It's just a one row repeat and it's extremely gorgeous. Looks the same on both sides, which is always a plus. So looking the same on both sides. One row repeat, easy to do. Also, it's a nice thick fabric. As you can see, you can't really see through it that well. It's nice. So you guys want to go ahead and get started on it? So pretty. All right, let's go ahead and do it. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I used Red Heart Super Saver Ombre, which is a medium weight number 4 acrylic yarn. The color I used is called Deep Teal. And also, for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be using a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. Remember, this is just a stitch tutorial to show you how to make the stitch. So, the yarn and hook that you use will be depending on what you are making. So, the Pique stitch is done in any number of chains. So, there is no certain multiple for this to work. So you can just chain any number of stitches, whether you're making a scarf, you know, you can chain like, I don't know, 6 to 10 inches wide for a scarf. You want to make a blanket, you know, that really depends on how big of a blanket you want to make, but you chain until you get the size that you want your blanket to be in width, and then that's it. So there's no certain number. All right, let's go. So for row 1, we are going to do, it's a type of a cluster. It's actually a half double crochet, double crochet together, if that makes sense. That's what this particular stitch is made up, all the way, except for here in the beginning. It's different right here. So when we start off with row 1, we are going to do a half double crochet in the excuse me, 4th chain from the hook. So we don't count this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do a half double. Just like that. Okay, so now we're going to do that type of little cluster. It's like a double crochet and a half double crochet. They're crocheted together, so whatever you want to call that. We're going to do that in every single stitch, so I'm going to show you how it's done. So we're going to go to the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to go into the stitch, draw up a loop, and we're going to yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Then we're going to yarn over, go back into the exact same stitch again, draw up a loop. We got 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and go through all 4. There it is. So that is the double, half double crochet crocheted together. And we're going to do that all the way down. Let's do it again. So we don't chain 1 or anything after that. Remember, there's no chain 1. We're just going to yarn over again and go into the next stitch. Draw up a loop. Yarn over and go through the first 2. Then we're going to yarn over and go back into the same stitch, draw up a loop, 4 loops, yarn over and go through all 4. There it is again. All right, don't chain. Again, we're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2, yarn over again and go back into the same stitch, draw up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and go through all 4. This is what we're going to do for the entire length of the chain. Now the piece will start to curl. That's okay. It does that, as is what it does. After you get you know, some rows on it, it'll stop doing that and it'll lay flat. But that's just kind of what it does. So again, this is what the stitch is made up of. We're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2. Then we're going to yarn over and go into the same stitch again, draw up a loop. You got 4 loops. We're going to yarn over and go through all 4, and do not chain 1. So I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way until I get to the end of my row. Just like that. Remember, curling ups, it's natural. That's just what it does. All right, I'll see you at the end. All right, I made it to the end of row 1. See how it's kind of like a curly Q? That's all right. I'm just going to take it and kind of give it a little bit of a stretch. That way you can kind of see what I'm doing there. But like I said, it'll take several rows before it starts to lay correctly. So your last stitch, you should have ended in one of those double, half double togethers, just like we just did. We did that all the way down. So row 2, we're going to chain 1, turn our work. That chain 1 does not count as a stitch. It doesn't count as anything. And we're going to be working into the top of these little, I'm just going to call them mini clusters. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to yarn over, go into it, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2, yarn over, go into the same stitch, drop a loop, and yarn over and go through all 4. Don't chain 1, go to the next one, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2, yarn over, go into the same one, drop a loop, and yarn over and go through the remaining 4. Oh my gosh. Let me do that one again. Go through 2, and then go through 4. And we're going to do this in every stitch across. It actually works up pretty dang quick once you get to going. Once you get it down, I mean, you'll fly through it. You'll be flying. All right, so I'm doing the same stitch on top of every stitch all the way till we get to the end. So one more time, we yarn over, go into the stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2. Yarn over, go into the same stitch, drop a loop, and yarn over and go through the remaining 4. Do not chain 1, and we just do the same thing in every stitch. Now I'm going to meet back up with you when we get to the end of this row, and I'm going to show you how to end it because we have this chain 3 here at the end. All right, when you're coming to the end of row 2, this is the only time that you end this row this way. It's because we started out with this chain 3 here. We have this chain here on the end where we started, and then we put that half double in the 4th stitch from the hook. So to end this row and this row only, we do not go into this half double, but we work into the top of the chain 3, and we work the same stitch. So skip this half double here and go into the top of the chain 3 and drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2, yarn over and go to the same stitch, drop a loop, and yarn over and go through all 3. There we go. Now remember, it's going to be curling, it's going to look wonky, it's not going to lay straight until we get more rows on it, but that's okay. Now row 3 is a repeat row. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work, and it's actually the same as row 2 except for the ending is different. It's easier. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to do that little tiny cluster into the first stitch. Remember that chain 1 does not count as anything. And we're going to do this in every stitch across. It's so easy. Things you can make out of this. All right, I'm going to meet, remember, we're just doing the little cluster in every stitch across. Oops. Until we get to the last stitch of our row, and I'll show you how to end it. All right, I'm coming to the end of row 3. Remember, this is how we're going to end it from now on. We're just going to do our little tiny cluster here into this little last stitch right here on the end. All right, so we're going to yarn over, just kind of go into that last stitch on the end, draw up, yarn over and go through the first two, yarn over, go back into the same stitch, draw up, and yarn over and go through the remaining 4. That's it. That's how we do it. And we chain 1 and repeat row 3. The only difference was that row 2 just had that chain at the end that we had to do, but now it's just these little clusters from here on out, you know. Super easy, super quick. I mean, you start with them and you end with them, and you do it in every stitch in between. Like I said, it makes a nice thick fabric, very beautiful, very easy. Same on both sides. All right, and remember, it will take a bit for it to start looking not wonky. Not wonky, but after a while, and you get some rows on it, it will lay flat and not look wonky. Isn't that beautiful? It looks like little buds, kind of, I guess. I think it's absolutely stunning, and I really love how fast it works up. I'm thinking about making something out of this, actually. But yeah, the sides, pretty straight sides, nice, nice. So what more could you ask for, really? That's it. Yeah. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? And I will see you guys on my next video. And the like, leave me a comment below. Bye, guys.